started. Or does it? There have been a lot of big changes in my life, and the biggest one is that we've moved into a new house. I'm settling into a new studio space. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff around me. I kind of look like I'm just like crammed in the corner somewhere. And it is definitely not perfectly set up yet. But something I've come to realize is I need to stop feeling stuck or getting stuck in this perfection loop. It tends to happen, like, especially if I move into a new space, I feel like I need to get everything settled in. I want to have everything organized and put away before I start creating and painting and working on my art career again. Now, settling into a new place takes time, and yes, unpacking is important, but I also feel like as a highly creative person, sometimes I can use unpacking and organizing and decorating as a very creative way of like self-sabotage and using that as an excuse not to paint and to put my dreams and my ambitions on the back burner for the sole purpose of just like getting settled into my new space. This is something I've realized about myself over the years, and becoming aware of it helps me break out of this cycle of very creative procrastination, because on one hand, yes, I am productive, I feel like I'm doing a lot, but then at the end of the day, I am so burnt out that I don't have time, or I don't feel like breaking out my paints and getting started on, or not even getting started, but just getting some painting in throughout the day and getting some time to myself. But with this awareness follows change in behavior, and that is something that I have been working on over the last couple of years. I've slowly realized that even though my house isn't totally together, or my art studio isn't perfect, or I haven't finished decorating, or my kids still need help organizing and getting settled into their spaces, I've realized that it's important that I really take time and carve time to paint and be creative. Because one of the biggest things that starts to creep into my psyche if I lay dormant from painting too long is imposter syndrome. I start to really talk negatively about my ability to create, my skill set, and what I've worked hard on for the last several years as I am on this journey of becoming a professional artist. And I just realized, the longer I go throughout a period of time without painting, the more negatively I talk about myself as an artist. I start exploring alternative careers and different things that I think that I would be better at doing, because it's not that I think I would be better at doing them, but it's more so they feel safer and they feel more obtainable than this art career goal that I've set. And so throughout the last, 5 or so years, I've realized the fastest way that I can fix this imposter syndrome and this voice that I hear is simple yet sometimes hard, and that is just start painting. Because at the end of the day, whether I'm getting paid for my artwork or not, I am an artist if I am creating art. I think that's a really important thing to remember for any creative and any person. There's something that we do that ignites this creative spirit that we all have. And whether we're getting paid to do it or not, it's still important to carve time out in our day, or sometime, like a couple times throughout our week, to do that thing. Because for me, creating art goes beyond whether I'm getting paid or not. It is just part of who I am. It is part of what makes me happy. It's my creative outlet. It is the time I spend just for me, and not just preparing or organizing or driving people around to different activities. It's the time that I have with myself, for myself, to just really hone my own creative skills. Sometimes getting started painting after I've taken a long break is easier said than done. Like I said, it's a really simple fix, but it can be hard in practice. And what I've found the best way to get started after I've been taking, a long break, whether that's a couple weeks or a couple months, is to remind myself that art and painting for me is all about a playful and like this playfulness and curiosity. And so it doesn't really matter what I decide to paint as long as I'm having fun and just like figuring out different ways I can enjoy the process, which why in the background as I'm painting this tiger, you might see different paintings that I'm working on. And it's because I want to have fun with it. I want to be curious. I want to, figure out a way to express my own unique voice as an artist. And so I tried to keep that in mind. I picked just a random thing off of like my Pinterest mood board to start painting because I know I just need to get started. And then I just made sure I stayed really, I kept it fun and I just painted something. I don't care if it looks good. I'm just going to get curious and playful about the paints and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And not so much about what I want it to look like in the end. And there's definitely a lot of things. I was working throughout the summer on a piece that was commissioned for someone, and so there were definitely a lot of times where I kind of threw some paint on and was just kind of like playing around with different types of paintings. And some of them definitely I liked more than others, and that's okay. That's part of the process. That's part of building my own unique voice, is deciding, what do I like and what do I not like. And sometimes you just have to paint a crummy painting and be like, yeah, I definitely don't like that. And then move on and be like, okay, now I know I don't like that style. Now I know I don't like the way those layered. And that's okay. And the second part to this too is it is hard. Sometimes it's hard just working in a new space, working in a new environment. Like I've had to set up my house. I had to box everything up. And so sometimes like I'm just giving myself that grace and being like, it's okay. Like I will paint regularly again, but it might just take me some time to just like get get in the vibe of the new place and like just kind of start, building those habits and those muscles with my new studio. Definitely, played around a lot in this new space, and it's really fun because it is a loft. So I do like the fact that I can kind of escape from the main area of my house. And if I'm in the middle of painting something, I can leave it up there to dry. I don't have to worry about like leaving a mess out in the main area anymore. But with that being said, sometimes it is harder to get started because I have to remember everything. Like I have to make sure I have water up, bring my paint water up there. I have to make sure I have everything available. And, so sometimes just having it be a little bit harder to access makes it a little harder to create that muscle memory and carve out that time to do the painting and just like get started. But I do think that this space will help me be very successful in building, a good routine with my craft. But yeah, it is just me reminding myself that my studio does not have to be perfect to get started, and that's okay. Like there's still furniture I'd like to buy for the space. I still don't know how I'm going to utilize the space to be the most efficient, but at least I've gotten started, and I got started in a way that was fun and I kept it playful. And I hope you guys really enjoy the way this leopard turned out. I thought it was really fun. It was really fun to make, and I learned a lot from creating it just by, watching the layers build and figuring out some different, bold strokes with different colors. I thought that was really fun. Creating this new space, I've definitely been reflecting and thinking about how I want to move forward with my art career, how I want to move forward with YouTube, and just like making sure I'm creating something that I want to be consistent with and continue with for a long time. So as I get more settled into my space and my kids and I get more settled into the school year, because that has just started for us also, you should see more consistent content coming from me. But you know, it's okay. It's not all gonna happen in one day. It's gonna be a slow process, and that's okay. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do really appreciate anyone that's leaving kind, encouraging comments or starting, you know, conversations in the comments section below. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining this community. And I will see you guys in the next video. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.